So, hey guys, for no apparent reason at all, I somewhat now know what all of the Dream Mirror cards do, so I figured might as well share. So, yeah, Dream Mirror cards, let's be honest, they aren't very good. So, we'll start off with this card. We have Dream Mirror Hypnagogia. So, this card allows you to essentially put Dream Mirror of Joy and Dream Mirror of Terror onto the field, both at once. So you give your opponent one of them, and you will get one of them as well. So this allows you to put both Dream Mirror of Joy and Terror on the field at once. And this is useful because of mostly just well, it's not to remove your opponent's like field spell because I mean you can technically use this for that, right? But your own effects benefit off of having both Dream Mirrors on the field. So, for example, if we go to Icalos here, if this card is special summoned by the effect of a Dream Mirror monster, you can special summon a Dream Mirror monster from your hand, except Icalos, the Dream Mirror Mara. During the main or battle phase, if a Dream Mirror of Joy is in a field zone, quick effect, you contribute this card special summon one Icalos to the Dream Mirror sprite from your deck. So this is only doable if Dream Mirror of Joy is on the field, not doable if Terror is on the field. Right? So that's kind of how it works, I guess, right? So I believe it is like the dark ones require joy, and then, well, not Mirai. Bad example. So let's check. Morpheus, yeah, so the dark ones require joy, and then the light ones require terror in order to use their effect to special summon their counterpart, more or less. So they all have some sort of effect to also tag out. So in case of Phantasos here, we can tag out Phantasos with its level 4 equivalent, which is Phantasos, the Dream Mirror foe. And then this can tag out to the other guy. So that's essentially what Dream Mirror does, and on summon they usually have some kind of trigger, but usually it's got this text if this card is special summoned by the effect of a Dream Mirror monster. So don't think about like summoning this with some different card. For example, if we were to summon this off of Flamberge, this would do literally nothing. So yeah, great. They kind of have like a bit of a Dream Mirror lock going on all of these cards. Your best starter is going to be, I believe, Neirai. If this card is either normal or special summoned, you can add one Neirai, the Dream Mirror Disciple, from your deck to your hand. Then you can make this card become light. You attribute one other Dream Mirror monster. Choose one Dream Mirror monster from your deck with a different level than the attributed monster. Add one Dream Mirror of Joy or one Dream Mirror of Terror from your deck to your hand that is mentioned on that chosen monster, and special summon that chosen monster in defense position. And you can only use each effect of Nero, the Dream Mirror Trader, once per turn. So this card looks cracked, right? But the rest of the cards are so bad, this doesn't even matter somehow. If we look at like our searches, I think that this was it. This does all of our searches, so this is just a really bad choke point. So aside from this, we have Light Icalos, the Dream Mirror Sprite. If this card is special summoned by the effect of a Dream Mirror monster, you can add one Dream Mirror card from your deck to your hand, except for Icalos, the Dream Mirror Sprite. And yeah, this allows you to technically search a monster or a spell trap, specifically a Dream Mirror one. Yep, but yeah, if we look at these guys, then yeah, that's it. We have, I guess, one more way to search now that I think about it, yeah. So there is also Dream Mirror Phantasms. When this card is activated, you can add one Dream Mirror monster from your deck to your hand. If Dream Mirror of Joy is in a field zone, all monsters you control gain 500 attack defense. If Dream Mirror of Terror is in a field zone, all monsters your opponent control loses 500 attack defense. So all of these effects here, only the add one is actually like really relevant. The rest of it, like, yeah, this doesn't super matter. You can only activate one Dream Mirror Phantasms per turn, though. I guess that's a thing. So, I guess somewhat worth mentioning is if you have multiple phantasms, your opponent could drop all the way down to like uh, neg 1.5k attack defense, and you can gain as much as 1.5k, which that doesn't mean that much to me, honestly. But yeah, if we were to uh, look at this from a different perspective, these are just 3 copies of Neroy, I would argue. And then I guess there's like light Neroy, which you can add off of this. So this is going to special summon itself, add this light Neroy, and then after this, you can tribute another Dream Mirror monster, in which case you could special summon Neroy, the Dream Mirror Disciple, to tribute it, right? And let's see, if this card is special summoned by the effect of a Dream Mirror monster, activate this effect. If Dream Mirror Joy is on the field, you return 1 spell trap your opponent. Goes to the hand. Also after that, if Dream Mirror Terra is on the field, draw 1 card, then shuffle 1 card from your hand into the deck. Can't even just draw 1, you have to put a card back. Which is somewhat useful because sometimes you... Well, I guess I forgot to mention this, but this deck also has that ninja issue where you have to summon from deck. So if we look at this quick effect, special summon from deck. So if these cards are in your hand, you can't summon them. So let's say, for example, we have Phantastos, and we have the other Phantastos, right? Dream Mirror Friend and Dream Mirror Foe. If we want to summon this bad boy, we're going to need to get access to this, right? And then after we get access to it, we're going to, assuming we have the correct Dream Mirror, right? To tag into Phantastos for whatever reason. So after we tag into this, special summon this probably somehow. We're going to actually need a copy of this, but it has to be in deck. So worst case, if you're running 1 copy of this, oh, it's in hand. Well, this is now a brick. This is also a brick because this doesn't do anything, because this doesn't tag out into anything. So boom. Now we have 2 bricks, and even worse if we're running multiple copies of this. So you're forced to run like at least 2 to 3 copies of like every single like Dream Mirror, despite like in other decks where you'd be able to get away with running them as like a 1 of. Now they must be like a 2 of, despite them being like a 1 of kind of card that does nothing in your hand, right? Simply because you need to summon it from deck to activate its effect. So you have that issue. And then we have... Well, I guess we'll go into the extra deck now. So we have Oneris, the Dream Mirror Earl King, and then we have Oneris, the Dream Mirror Tormentor. So let's go over the effects, I suppose. So both of them have the same summoning condition of 2 dream monsters with different attributes. So while face up on this field, this card is also a dark attribute. You can only use each of the following effects of Oneris, the Dream Mirror King, once per turn. If another monster you control is tributed, except during the damage step, you target 1 card on the field, destroy it. This card in its owner's possession is destroyed by an opponent's card. You can special summon 1 Dream Mirror monster from your graveyard, except for Oneris, the Dream Mirror Earl King. And then the effect of Oneris here. When a monster effect is activated while Dream Mirror Terror is in your field zone, quick effect, you negate that effect. If Dream Mirror of Joy is in the field zone, quick effect, you attribute this card, special summon 1 Oneris, the Dream Mirror Earl King, from your extra deck in defense position. So overall, this is a monster negate, quick effect, and then we have targeted pop. So this doesn't specify monsters or anything, it's just a targeted pop in general. So Raigeki Break, one might say. And all of these guys essentially have tribute effects. So yeah, you can trigger like any of those, and you get 1 pop. So cool. And if this gets popped, you can summon Oneris. And let's see, this has hard once per turn, and this is hard once per turn as well, so. If we were to tag out into Oneris, no real point in tagging out into the Earl King. So, yeah. The jank part of this is like how you require the Dream Mirrors for this. And then this one technically also requires a Dream Mirror, because for your cards to be able to quick effect tribute themselves, you'll need a Dream Mirror on this one. And then this will take out. So I guess if you have Terror at least, and you have an Earl King, I think that's what you would want, right? Then you'd get the monster negate here, and then you would also get the top here, assuming this is destroyed by your opponent's like card as well. And we can tag out into this, but requiring your opponent to destroy this is like awkward because so what if they don't do that and just like full combo and then remove this? What exactly will Oneris do then? Truly problematic. Then we have Dream Mirror of Chaos, which is like the fusion card that we have here. So, fusion summon one Dream Mirror fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters you control as fusion material. If Dream Mirror of Joy is in a field zone, you can also use monsters in your hand as fusion material. If Dream Mirror of Terror is in a field zone, you can banish monsters from your graveyard as fusion material. So, if Terror is in a field zone, this is great. We can banish monsters from our graveyard that we use the combo. So that would be our like Neroys, and that's good enough, honestly. So, yay, sent Neroy. And then if we fusion summon, then we can fusion summon Reneros, and then like maybe float into like the Tormentor one, and you get two whole pieces of interaction. Like just disregard how hard it is to draw this combo. But yeah, huzzah! And just worth mentioning, this is worse than actual polymerization because fusion summon one Dream Mirror fusion monster from your extra deck. So first off, non-generic, which doesn't matter. Using monsters you control as fusion material. So cool. If you don't control them, what if they're in your hand? Then you can't use them as fusion material. Lovely, I guess. Great. Not much I can really say about this. But I guess worth mentioning is that this is still a fusion summon, so they're properly summoned. So you can bring them back with Phantassos at least. If you have the right Dream Mirror and the right Phantassos. It's not even this Phantassos. What does this Phantassos do? Its effect is like garbage, right? This card is special summoned by the effect of a Dream Mirror monster. This card can attack directly this turn. So the effect of this one, garbage. This effect is decent if this card is special summoned by the effect of a Dream Mirror monster. So it'll likely have to be special summoned by its other counterpart, or it has to be special summoned by like Ikelos. So if this card is special summoned by the effect of a Dream Mirror monster, you can special summon a Dream Mirror monster from your hand, except for Ikelos, the Dream Mirror Mara. And also, these cards not searchable, so great. During the main or battle phase, if Dream Mirror of Joy is in your field zone, quick effect, you can tribute this card, special summon the Light Ikelos, which gets you another search. So, search for next turn, huzzah. How many turns does it take for this engine to like really pop off? No idea. But also worth mentioning is that like the Dream Mirrors are super awkward because now you also have to run these cards. So just like Dream Mirror of Joy, is this even that great? I don't know. But at least it can tag out for Terror if you care. During the end phase. Yay. But needing to run multiple copies of this is kind of awkward. Like, alright. You need two at least to activate Hypnagogia, and then like to do your combo anyways, because this is a trap, you're going to want to use Dream Mirror of Joy and Terror, so you're going to need at least like probably like one or two of each. Like it could even be like this or like this, but you're going to need to run quite a few copies of this field spell. So just looking at this already, this is 20 cards. And this is like fairly mandatory, honestly. And oh, going back to it, of course, this is the only card we have that can search like a spell or trap. So if we wanted to search Hypnagogia, if we wanted to search Dream Mirror of Chaos, we can't do this all on the same turn. We'd have to do this over the course of multiple turns with Ikelos. Speaking of which, these cards you can't really recycle them aside from using Dream Mirror Recap. So if a Dream Mirror monster you control would be tributed to activate its own effect, shuffle it into the deck instead of sending it to the graveyard. During the main phase, you can send this face-up card to the graveyard, place while in Dream Mirror of Joy or Dream Mirror of Terror that is banished when your graveyard face-up in your field zone, and you inspect summon one monster from your hand that specifically lists that card you placed in its text. So, like honestly, most of this effect down here doesn't matter. So the effect mostly that we should care about is the effect to shuffle into the deck instead of sending to the graveyard. So if we were to do that, for example, like then we won't run out of Phantasos as easily. Like because we need to tag out Phantasos with Phantasos and then back into Phantasos and whatever, right? And real quick, I guess we have to check if this is optional because that actually does matter. No, it's mandatory. So okay, then we have to link summon and stuff, which is fine, I guess. If we do that now, we can activate Dream Mirror of Chaos by banishing cards in our graveyard. So that's fine. And also, if our opponent is playing like any deck that has like a field spell, it's actually kind of bad for us because like I guess we can technically Hypnagogia their field spell, but like worst case scenario, like if our opponent's playing Manadium, that deck plays like 3 or 4 field spells. So yeah, that's not like great. So that they can like pretty easily put a field spell on top of our field spell, and then if we wanted to put a Dream Mirror back onto our opponent's field, we'd have to get another Hypnagogia. And a lot of the time, like what Dream Mirror players will do is they're going to cycle like Dream Mirror of Joy and Terror during the end phase on the first turn to just get them out of the deck because these are all essentially bricks that you can draw into for future turns. So that's going to be done, and they're going to leave the right amount to Hypnagogia the next turn, and then they should have like next to 0 like Dream Mirrors left, right? And if that is the case, even if you have like a Hypnagogia now, it's kind of dead because you don't actually put back the copies of like Terror. That they're going to get banished here, as you can see, banish, and then they'll get also sent to the graveyard by like your opponent activating another field spell on top of it. So then for the rest of the duel, am I expected to play with only Joy or Terror? I suppose, maybe. So yeah, just in general, deck is pretty awful. Could go into it more, but yeah. First off, the the archetype is kind of like, well, everything requires like a dream mirror, like a dream mirror monster, dream mirror field spell. So it's very hard to find like synergies with other decks. Just for example, even if we were to 1-for-1 Icalos, it doesn't do anything like just straight up. It doesn't, we don't trigger this effect because that was not special summoned by the effect of a Dream Mirror monster. And if we actually had a Dream Mirror spell or trap that could summon Icalos, you know what's funny about that? Icalos still doesn't get triggered because it has to be specifically special summoned by the effect of a Dream Mirror monster, not even a Dream Mirror card. But this is also your only search, so you'll get this one Icalos search, so you can't like get access to like everything. So yeah, I don't understand like remotely how this deck is supposed to be played. So let's check real quick. If this card is special summon, target one card on the field, destroy it. This is like pretty good, I guess. So the light one might be better then. And this effect is, this card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect, so it's a kind of crummy towers. Great. So if you summon like Dark Morpheus, this is at least a pop. So having access to only one Dream Mirror is awkward, but having access to 2, you still need access to the monsters. And then how did you get the monsters onto the field? So many good questions. Yeah. So overall, not a huge fan of Dream Mirror because yeah, simply put, uh, they're garbage. Like I guess it'd be easiest to go into the solo gate to show it off, but yeah. If we were to do some dream mirroring, like, yeah, okay, this is the kind of hand you expect to see, right? So here, all of these monsters are dead because they don't have effects when they're normal summoned, aside from Neroi. So I don't even have 40 cards yet, but okay. If we were to use, let's see. If a Dream Mirror monster is on the field, you can special summon this card from hand, then you make this card become dark. If this card is special summoned by the effect of a Dream Mirror monster, activate this effect. So, does it self count? I would assume so. Activate this effect? No, it does nothing because I don't have a Dream Mirror. Alright, that effect didn't matter. And then we have Morpheus. Just a brick in hand, so analyzing this, the best end board you could make at this point is make Verte and then summon either like a Mirror Jade or a DP and then pass because you literally can't do anything else. You do have like a Hypnagogia, I guess, so you can at least summon like Ikelos. So if we use like this Ikelos effect to summon uh, this Ikelos, we can then special summon a Dream Mirror monster from our hand, so we can summon Morpheus. As long as we don't get hand trapped, you know. It would be a shame if we got hand trapped. And also, this is during the main phase only, right? Ah, yes. So if we got Imperm tier before main phase, also dead. And also, we only get one pop. That is what we can do with 5 cards in hand. And it costs 1, 2, 3 cards of ours to essentially like 3 cards in hand to pop 1 card. And yeah, that's the only interaction we have. Hmm. I guess we can also Ikelos effect, I guess. If we tag out the other Ikelos back for this Ikelos, since we have access to both Dream Mirrors with Hypnagogia here, then we can add a card that we can't even use. Probably Neroi, then. It is probably the best add, because then we can at least normal summon Neroi and attempt to activate its effect, because it has one. I mean, if you're feeling really greedy, I guess you could just grab Phantasms to grab the Neroi as well. And one more hand. How dead could it be? Oh my god, it's... Yep. Dream Mirror Joy. Dream Mirror Phantasms. Joy. Neroi. Chaos. Most playable hand so far, somehow, some way. And then this can trigger this to draw 1, shuffle 1, right? If Terror is on the field. This isn't Terror. Oh, speaking of which, the only way you can get access to, of course, both Dream Mirrors is with Hypnagogia, so even if I have, like, kind of access to both here, because Neroi can search Terror, yeah, that's not going to be feeling that great, because now we can activate Joy, and then, like, activate some of Neroi's effects, and then we would have to activate Terror on top of this, which is why we need to run multiple field spells, I guess. So it looks like the actual optimal ratio after doing this hand test, I think it will have to be like 2-3, which is just, so it sounds painful to me, right? And then, like, just for example, if we wanted to activate Ikelos effect with Ikelos in hand, then we would need to normal summon Ikelos, activating specifically Terror, and then we would get the other Ikelos, and then we would have to activate Dream Mirror of Joy, I believe, and then we have to activate Ikelos' effect once again, and then that would allow us to do a 3-card combo to search 1 card with Ikelos, the Dream Mirror sprite. Wow, isn't that great? So, what can we search at this point? I guess at least we can search for the fusion spell. Wait, we started with Terror, right? And then we have Joy? Okay, at least this is a quick play, so then during the end phase, we can tag out Joy with Terror, and then we can do Chaos, Dream Mirror of Chaos. I think it's probably best to just do this in end phase, I suppose, because it is a quick play. We can technically do that to summon uh, this one, I think. Dream Mirror of Terror is on the field, you negate that effect. So, after all things are said and done, we get one monster negate for the small cost of 3 cards in hand. And I don't think it gets much better than that. Uh, that or we can go for like pop one monster because I guess we can change out Terror for Joy again after we do the fusion summon. Think about this just hurts. So yeah, just in general, Dream Mirror, not good. Just for example, if you somehow managed to summon first Dark Lord, like despite playing Dream Mirror card somehow, you summon this bad boy. If you special summon any of these fairy monsters, well, not all of them are fairies. Like first issue, but second issue, if we were to summon these guys, it doesn't do anything unless you have like a Dreamer of Joy and or uh, Terror as well. So yeah, overall, seems pretty miserable. So large engine requirement, issue 1. So it requires a lot of main deck space, and also the grind game somehow isn't that good on them, and they're all essentially bricks. So yeah, Dreamer pretty awful. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. I don't really have much to say about Dreamer anymore. It's just hurts to look at. How expensive is Dreamer? I guess it's not like that bad. It's a little SR heavy, and then you require Hypnagogia, and then Onair. Oh wait, this costs like 5 URs at minimum to play, but you probably want more copies of like both Onairus, honestly. So yeah, not that great. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.